Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School, a smarter, stronger, leaner podcast on a mission to change the way the world is. My name is Shurina. I'm a certified nutritionist, health, nutrition, brain productivity coach, and just someone with a lot of passion for helping you guys to learn how to use nutrition, food, and lifestyle as precise tools to feel, look, and do your absolute best. And guys, today we are talking about food and nutrition. This is probably my biggest passion. And food, it changes us every single day. We are built from food that we put on our plate every day. Guys, you really need to not underestimate the influence of food on your entire life. Your brain productivity, yes. Your energy levels, yes. How you feel, how you look, yeah. Hell yeah. Food is everything, and we eat it in pounds every single day. And every time we eat it, it changes our biochemistry, what's happening in our blood, in our gut, in our brain. And, guys, have you ever dealt with someone who is obviously hungry? Maybe they've been rushing through their day, haven't had the chance to eat, or you just caught them at the exact moment when they were just about to have, breakfast and lunch, and they don't really care about you. They care about eating, and their energy kind of low, and they're hungry, and maybe a little bit on edge and angry. Hunger levels, blood sugar, that's totally changes our communication, our interactions with the world. But it's just one very simple aspect of it. There are so many reactions that depend on different vitamins and minerals and fiber and fats and proteins. Our brain need protein and amino acids found in those protein-rich foods to create different neurotransmitters to make us feel confident, to learn, to focus, to memorize, to make us feel motivated, and to make it more likely so we get after challenges. And instead of withdrawing into our internal world, not wanting to interact with someone, right? Food, it's so powerful. And guys, I wanted to share with you something that I've been reviewing. I'm constantly reviewing nutrition information and different studies, and sometimes I forget about different smaller details that are smaller, but when I look at how it down the road has the potential to affect our life and how we feel, it's no small deal. Yesterday, I was reading about essential fatty acids, or basically essential fats, omega-3s and omega-6s. Specifically, I was reading about omega-6s. So why omega-6s? What do they do? Well, let me just tell you what you get when you don't get enough of those essential fatty acids. It can cause dandruff, inflamed scaly skin, hair loss, low sex drive, and infertility, low sex hormones, blunted stress response in males, and exaggerated stress response in females. They did a lot of experiments that are unethical to do in humans. They did a lot of experiments with mice, making them artificially deficient in those essential fatty acids. Today, specifically, I'm talking about omega-6 fatty acids. It's not just all about omega-3s. Omega-6s are equally essential. It just usually in our food environment, we consume many more of omega-6s that leads to problems. But also consuming too many omega-3s actually can lead to problems as well. So they did this experiment on mice and made them deficient in omega-6 essential fatty acids. So those mice, they developed irritated, sore, and scaly skin, dandruff, and hair loss. Their tails were inflamed, swollen, scaled, and ridged, and were hemorrhaging in certain spots. basically bleeding. Their kidneys got hurt and they started peeing blood. They drank what seemed like way too much water, yet didn't pee any more than usual because the water just evaporated from their skin. Because guys, essential fatty acids, they are omega-6s and omega-3s. They are essential parts of cell membranes to maintain its integrity, but at the same time fluidity, to let certain stuff in and not let certain stuff out, right? So when mice got deficient in those omega-6s, their skin cells became kind of like transparent. And so the water would just evaporate and they couldn't drink enough water. The males lost interest in sex, stopped producing sperm, and their testosterone tanked. The females stopped ovulating, couldn't get pregnant, and their levels of both estrogen and progesterone tanked. The females developed enlarged adrenals, giving them an exaggerated response to stress, related to all the autoimmunity, for example. The adrenals of males shrunk, making them unable to mount any response to stress. Those mice ate more food but gained less weight. Sounds nice at first. Eventually, though, they lost so much weight that they died. Right? So, essential fatty acids, guys. But what's also cool about those fatty acids and important for brain performance? As omega-6 in animal form called arachidonic acid, don't need to remember that. It's needed for stomach health because it needed to maintain integrity of our cells, of our gut lining, to prevent food intolerances. It's also needed. It needed to mount defense against infection, to resolve chronic inflammation, and also to create the state of confidence to explore the world without anxiety. And guys, it's not just some woo-woo science. It's actually written by PhD of nutrition and confidence, exploring the world, having no anxiety about the world around you. It all is related to brain health, and your brain health is dependent on those essential fats, omega-6s and omega-3s. And so when you don't get, for example, this arachidonic acid, animal form of omega-6, you get less confidence, more anxiety, and you're less likely to go for any opportunities. So, for example, if you have team members who are on the side of being too cautious, you want them to innovate, you want them to get out there, to throw in some crazy ideas that might be judged or not understood. Guess what, guys? If they are deficient in those essential fats, they're probably not going to do that, just because their brain not going to work that way because of those deficiencies. And we need animal form in our brain, but in our foods, what we get most of is plant form of omega-6 fatty acid. Animal form can only be found in rich amounts in eggs, yolks of course, and liver. So if you don't eat liver, you'll need like 3-4 ounces of that per day, or 100 grams, or a couple of eggs per day would do the job. So if you don't eat that, your body will have to convert the plant form into animal form. And the trick with that is, your body is not that great at conversion, not with all the other pieces being in place. So what can hurt the conversion? It can be caused by genetics, diabetes, and insulin resistance. And let me tell you that a lot of people, young, old, and somewhere in the middle, have some form of insulin resistance. So having that insulin resistance or full-blown diabetes will help the conversion. And so if you, on top of that, don't eat liver or eggs, then guess what, guys? You are not getting that arachidonic acid, and you're not converting the plant-based form into that omega-6 fatty acid. And you're going to get all kinds of problems, from your digestion to having too much inflammation to not being confident and having a lot of anxiety. And you might actually get infertile and have all kinds of problems with your hormones and dandruff, and you might lose your hair, right? So what can also hurt the conversion? Inadequate B6 and B7, and those are not found in that many food, and a lot of people have diets that provide very little of B7 or B6 that, by the way, are found also in liver that provides that arachidonic acid, the omega-6 that we actually need. But if you don't eat any liver, any egg yolks, again, you're kind of like out of luck for a lot of these B vitamins. We also need B2 for some conversion processes. We also need calcium, zinc, sugar, and refined oils will hurt the conversion of plant-based omega-6 into the animal one that we need. Also, too many omega-3s, or specifically EPA, found in fish in a lot of heart-healthy supplements can also hurt that conversion. Did I mention that any anti-inflammatory medication will also hurt that conversion of plant-based omega-6 into animal-based omega-6, the one that we actually need to use for our gut health, our hair health, our healthy weight, the integrity of our cells, the health of our gut, to feel confident, to have less anxiety, to have our hormones humming and singing, right? Instead of having all kinds of hormonal problems. And for female also, exaggerated stress response for males, the other one, and testosterone will tank. So the point of today's podcast, guys, that a lot of nutrients that we need to create optimal mental states, to learn, to memorize, to focus, to stay paying attention without any troubles, to not have anxiety or brain fog, to have sustained energy, to be able again to focus long term, to also be confident enough to propose innovative ideas that a lot of people might not like or might not understand. For a lot of these states, for our productivity, we need all of the nutrients to come together as a team to deliver that result. And even if we have all these nutrients from foods and supplements, but our diet is full of these pro-inflammatory fats that come in restaurant meals, in all the takeout meals, in a lot of snacks and fried nuts or roasted nuts. If we eat a lot of added sugars, and not necessarily the worst kind of sugar, but sugar in the form of fruit juice, or too much, honey, agave, and all of these natural sweeteners, right? If we eat a lot of pasta or white flour, if our diet is, again, all over the place, not balanced, it makes our blood sugar to go all over the place. If we eat a lot of takeout, now a lot of this stuff will go out of balance and forget about sustained productivity. And we think that we are doing our best. And we probably are giving our situation, our nutrition, our lifestyle. But also, we can be doing so much better. And we can only experience and feel that when we consistently change and maintain our new nutrition and lifestyle habits. And, I talk a lot about brain nutrients, brain supplements, brain foods. But the thing is, one single food, one single supplement will not work if all the other pieces are all over the place. Like, you take all the supplements, but your diet has a lot of sugar and a lot of refined foods and refined oils. You eat a lot of takeout. Guess what, guys? A lot of those supplements simply not gonna work. They will have to do other jobs instead of giving you more productivity, more focus, more energy, more motivation. Or your body will simply not going to be able to use them because of all these other factors, from poor blood sugar control to poor gut health and an absorption of nutrients to simply your cell membranes not having enough integrity or fluidity to make the energy production optimal, or transmission of signal or the flow of nutrients between cells, especially, when it comes to neurons and brain cells. It's all about communication. And so if you have these poor dietary habits and your diet is not balanced and your lifestyle is all over the place, then you're going to start having all problems, and they're not going to be fixed by one supplement. You actually have to create a system and implement that system consistently. And it seems like a lot of work and complicated, but a lot of things are actually quite simple. Once you understand how you need to put the pieces together, what is a balanced meal, like what foods gotta be there, what food groups is recommended to eat on a weekly basis, what kind of foods are really not that great to have in your diet every day, every other day, more like once in a blue moon. Once you understand what are the basics of healthy sleep, of healthy light exposure, taking one step at a time, and you build the system, and then this system will maintain itself and it will feel like no work at all. But you'll just start feeling better and better and better. And you'll build the reserve and you'll feel invincible. And how much can that feeling of invincibility, of confidence that you got it, no matter what, you can shoot for the stars and you'll find the resources to figure it out. That feeling, guys, it will translate into achievements beyond your wildest expectations. But it will only happen if you have the system that will support you through the most challenging times, right? Today, I just talked about one single nutrient, but there are more than 30 essential nutrients, and a lot of them, most of them, need to work as a team. They cannot work by themselves. A lot of B vitamins, for example, that are so crucial, essential for brain performance, kids and adults, when, for example, you don't get B12, you can get permanent nerve damage and you're going to be kind of retarded. I'm sorry if that, terms seem to offend some people, but that's what's going to happen. And in order for B12 to work its magic, it needs all the other nutrients to support it, either for extraction of those nutrients, different nutrients from food, or for energy production, or for other aspects of brain and nerve health. It's got to be a system. It's got to work together. And that's why, a lot of people like myself who have already a pretty good system, when we take one supplement, it's like, oh my God, that's like so much better now. I feel like a superwoman or Wonder Woman or Superman, right? But that's because you already have a good foundation. If somebody doesn't have that and you give them one vitamin, it's not going to do that much. That's the sad truth about it. So guys, get in touch. Let's talk about how you can create a sustainable, simple system. It's worth it. You got to figure it out if you want to achieve something great and you feel like you might need a little bit more resources supporting your work. So get in touch. The link to the call with me, free of charge, where you'll just get to learn what we can do together. It's in the show notes. Use it. Your life, your goals, your business, they all worth it. And guys, whatever you consider yourself good at, an expert in, realize that nutrition, health, it runs so deep. There is not even one single person who can be expert in all the health-related stuff, right? It's a deep expertise. And just because you eat food every day does not make you a nutrition expert. You do not know a lot of things, and you don't even know what you don't know. It's the same with any other area of expertise. Yesterday I was talking to a friend of mine who will help me with marketing of my services to reach more people who need my help. And I told him right away, just because I use internet and I had IT background and I read a couple of articles about marketing and social media marketing, etc., I understand very, very well that it does not make me in any way any sort of expert. And if I truly want to reach a lot of people and improve, I need professional help. Because again, I don't know what I don't know. Expertise it's very valuable if you truly want to take some area of our health or our business to a new level. So don't underestimate it. Again, just because you eat food doesn't make you a nutrition expert. Just like with me, just because I use my computer and create social media content doesn't make me at all an expert on business development through social media and marketing, or using WordPress site builder does not make me an expert in website development at all, right? Expertise matters, guys. So invest in yourself, invest in expertise, use that link. Let's schedule a call, especially if you're struggling with brain fog, not able to focus, your energy is all over the place, you can't sleep, in the morning you're groggy, at night, again, racing thoughts, you can't sleep, and it's, you know you can do better, but for some reason you don't. So there is probably a problem that you do not know how to solve. Use that link, schedule the call, do better. And guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And till next time, eat better daily. Oh, by the way, guys, for that omega-6 fatty acid, eat your couple of eggs every day. That is the best, most doable source for most people. Unless you love liver and you're going to eat 100 grams or about 3 ounces every day, right? So don't forget, your confidence and no anxiety, they're worth it. A couple of eggs per day, that will take care of that need. So eat it.